this time to tell you about why you need to learn French. The question is, why learn French? And the answer is just so interesting. Why? Number one, because more than 300 million people speak French on this continent, on this planet Earth. More than 300 million. If you learn French, you're one of them. And you are in the majority, you're enjoying yourself. Another reason is French is the second most widely learned foreign language after English and the fifth most widely spoken language in the world. No, the language is important. French is the only language, alongside English, that is taught in every country of the world. Can you imagine how important that language is? You should learn it. And you need to understand too that French is a language for international job. When you are talking of international job market, French has a great advantage. French opens the doors for, if you learn French, the language opens the door for you to access the French companies in France and in other French-speaking parts of the world. And as one of the world's largest economies and a leading destination of foreign investment, France is a key economic partner. The language of culture. You're talking about French when you're talking about language of culture, that is French. French is the international language of cooking. You see a lot of terminology when it comes to cooking, from French, in French. It's the language of fashion, it's the language of theater, it's the language of visual arts, it's the language of science and architecture. A knowledge of French offers access to great works of literature in the original French, as well as films and songs. French is the language of these great people. Victor Hugo, that's his language. Molière, that's his language. Leopold Sédar Senghor, that's his language. Edith Piaf, that's his language. And then Jean-Paul Sartre, that's his language. And then Alain Delon, that's his language, French language. And then Zinedine Zidane, many of us will know him, that is the language of that man. So French language is very important. It's a language to be learned so that we can be identified with a lot of positive things, both economically, socially, even in the field of sport and politics. French language is a very wonderful language. And it's a language for travelers. France is the world's top tourist destination, and it attracts more than 87 million people a year. You will enjoy your visit to Paris and all the regions of France. If you can speak French, you will enjoy it. It's a language of higher education. Ability to speak French opens up opportunities to study at renowned French universities and business schools that are ranked among the top higher education institutions in Europe and in the world. And that is the language. It is it's a language of international relationship that with the knowledge of this language, you have access to different international body, international organization. French is both a working language and an official language of United Nations, European Union. When you say European Union, remember Strasbourg, Brussels, Luxembourg, all those places, there is French language there. And not only that, it's the language of UNESCO, it's the language of NATO, it's the language of International Olympic Committee, it's the language of International Red Cross, it's the language of International Court, and that is the French language. Not only that, French is fun. French is easy to learn, it is rich, it is simple, it is melodious. There's something we are going to talk about in one of our classes. Why is French melodious? It's melodious when you think of, there's something they call liaison. That makes French to be very melodious. It's a language of love. Many people cannot even speak French, but they know how to say, je t'aime. French is a good basis for learning other languages, especially. There are languages we call Romance languages. And that means if you can speak French, when somebody is speaking Spanish by your side, you'll be able to pick some words because they are all together in the same family. Or Italian. When an Italian is speaking or somebody is speaking Italian by your side, because you can speak French, you'll be able to pick some words and follow the discussion even though you don't speak Italian, yet you still be able to pick some words. Also, Portuguese. Somebody speaking Portuguese by your side, because you can speak French, you will pick some word and follow the discussion, at least to a good extent. Or Romanian. Somebody speaking Romanian by your side, because you can speak French, you'll be able to pick what the person is saying, because they all belong to the same Romance languages. So, and that is it. It's very, very important. This knowledge of French can take you places.